بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Inshallah, today we will talk about the first session in the LEED Green Associate Exam Preparation. In this session, we will talk about or we'll answer about 23 questions about the location and transportation portion of the exam. This will be part 1. Part 2 will also contain about 22 MCQ questions. This session is presented by Engineer Asim Atif, an assistant lecturer in the Structural Engineering Department at Zagazig University. The first question says that if a building owner selected a project site in an existing community with proximity to existing utility lines and street networks, in which of the following ways would it save the project costs? Let's see the questions. First, we should say that the best way to answer MCQ question is by elimination. We will read each answer, then we will eliminate each exam question or each choice that is not logic. Then we will be left with only the most two suitable options from which we will choose the best answer. If we read the first choice, by increased availability of grid source renewable energy. If there is existing grid of utility lines, then we construct a building near this utility lines. Will it affect the source from which the energy is produced? No. By reduced infrastructure cost, that may be a right choice, as if the building is located near the grid line, it will cost less if it was away from the grid line, and more materials will be required to reach to make the utility lines reach this new infrastructure, new structure. By reduced cost of electric transmission, we will see this. By increased opportunities to participate in demand response program, no. The demand response program does not have any relation with the existence of utility grid lines. Then we are left with only two choices. By reduced infrastructure cost, that's a very right answer. By reduced cost of electric transmission, the electric transmission is the transmission of electricity through wires. Does it, if a building exists near the utility lines, does it affect the cost of electric transmission? No. Then the best answer is B, and it is truly B. The second question says that what are the environmental benefits of selecting a previously developed site for a project? Preserving open space. Open space is another meaning for green fields, which was one of the most important words in the LEED exam. Green fields can be defined as a site that is undeveloped in a natural state or has been used for agriculture. LEED does not prefer to build on green fields, but using previously developed lands instead. Preserving green fields mean more open space will be available. Then this answer is a right answer. Then we will see why the rest are wrong answers. For answer B, the site would have a greater development density. In fact, the development density of the project depends on the building design, not on the type of land chosen. So this answer is wrong. For C, local tax savings may be available. This answer is also wrong, because tax savings are an economic benefit, not an environmental benefit. For the last choice, the site would be located near mass transit. In fact, a previously developed site does not mean mass transit will be available. There are plenty of cities that have no or poor public transportation systems. So the best answer is preserving open space. In this question, which of the following use type categories determine diverse uses? Some questions have tick marks or checkboxes like these. This means that more than one option can be selected. If we read the question carefully, we can deduce that a diverse use is a distinct officially recognized business or non-profit, civic, religious, or governmental organization. It has a stationary postal address and it's publicly available. It does not include automated facilities such as ATMs, vending machines, or touch screens. There are five categories of use types. The first are food retail, then the food retail is a viable option, community serving retail, services, civic and community facilities. Then this option is also available, community anchor uses. So these two options are the right options, but stores and restaurants are not considered as use type categories. This option and this option are right. In the next question, In the next question, which of the following is a priority designation used in LEED? What is a priority designation, or what's called high priority sites? The high priority site credit helps project teams identify priority development areas. So LEED projects can earn more points. If we see the options available, to help the projects locate near existing infrastructure, no. To prevent project teams from building in sensitive habitats, no. To encourage investment in economically disadvantaged or low-income areas? Actually, this answer is right because LEED projects can earn points for building in what tend to be disadvantaged neighborhoods. The final answer is to encourage projects team to build in a LEED neighborhood development project areas? No. Then the best answer is C. In this example, in this question, what is an example of smart growth? Smart growth, let's see the options. First, retail, office, or residential townhouses on the site of a former gas station, or residential development on a previously developed site located near shops and schools, or development of a site that is far from existing development and infrastructure. Finally, neighborhood design that has offices and shops within walking distance to public transportation. If we define smart growth, it is developing in areas near transportation, housing, and jobs in order to leave open spaces and farmland free from development. So, this example of development is most likely to be a green field, which is not preferable to infill development. The best answer can be said as C, as it's not an example of smart growth, as it is far from existing development and infrastructure and may harm the green fields available. Then the best option is C. In the next question, what urban area is a best choice for a LEED project? Areas without existing infrastructure. In fact, projects far from existing infrastructure require more natural resources to connect with the building, to utilities and highways. So this option is wrong. Areas with zero lot lines. Zero lot lines can be defined as sites with little to no open space. So this is not a good place to construct a LEED project. If we look at option number D, areas that have not been previously developed. Projects cannot earn credits for building on lots that are not previously developed, so this option is wrong. So most likely option C is right, areas with high development density. Choosing urban areas that are previously developed with high development densities can earn LEED credits, so C is the best option. The next question says that selecting which of the following sites would have the greatest positive environmental impact. A parkland near diverse uses. A parkland is defined as open space and should be avoided for building on. So, parkland is not a suitable option to have a positive environmental impact. The next option, locating the project near public parking. Locating the project near public parking may reduce the project parking needs, but this is not the best answer choice. For option number D, a previously undeveloped site. This is a greenfield site and would not be the best option or the best choice for building on. So it's not the best option. The last option, C, an old building. An old building or using an old building or redeveloping it of an existing building significantly minimize the project's impact on the environment. It also provides the project team opportunity to reuse existing infrastructure. So C is the best option. For question number 8, locating a project in any of the high priority site types can increase the likelihood of which of the following? For choice number A, the project being in a dense area served by transit and diverse uses. That's actually maybe the best answer here. The project being located on a green field. For high priority sites, green fields is not one of the high priority sites. So this option is wrong. The project site having sensitive habitats. High priority sites and sensitive habitats are unrelated, so this option is wrong. Finally, the project not being located on a brownfield. A brownfield is one type of the high priority sites, so the likelihood would increase. So this option is wrong. Then finally, the best answer is A. For the next question, which of the following is aided by the avoidance of building on a sensitive land or previously undeveloped land? Reducing vehicle miles traveled, this is unrelated. Brownfield remediation, actually sensitive land or previously undeveloped lands are green fields. So brownfields are not related to this question. Rainwater management, actually that's the right question, as if undeveloped site areas are left undisturbed, this may help with managing rainwater runoff. So number C is the best option. The final choice, reducing parking footprint, is not related to this question. Then the best option is C. Question number 10. Which of the following are examples of infill development? Infill development can be generally defined as constructing projects between previously developed projects. So this type of box is called checkbox. Then more than one answer may be right. A design that increases the number of units of residential space per acre. This is an example of a compact development strategy. The project is putting more people in a given amount of space. This reduces the need for additional construction elsewhere to accommodate the same amount of people. But this is not related to the infill development. So this option is wrong. For option number B, the development of a brownfield site, this is brownfield development. Brownfield sites often occur on infill sites, but not always. So this option is not correct. For option number C, an office project on a previously developed site in a city center. This is an example of a type of infill project. So option C is right. For option number D, a store built between two existing urban buildings. This example is a type of infill projects, so option D is also correct. For the next question, if a project team is interested in developing on a previously developed site, but this option is infeasible, which of the following options should the project team consider next? If we look at the first option, locating prime fields, locating prime farmland. Prime farmland is a type of sensitive habitat that should be avoided, so this option is wrong. B. Not disturbing sensitive land types. If previously developed land is not an option, the next best thing is trying not to disturb sensitive type lands. So this option is correct. Some examples of sensitive land types is prime farmland, flood plains, endangered habitat, water bodies and wetlands. So this option is correct. Option number C, conducting a soil survey. A soil survey is one aspect of determining whether land is sensitive. So this is not related to the question. Finally, developing on a greenfield. Development on a greenfield should be avoided if possible because it's one type of sensitive land types. So this option is wrong. Then the best option is B. For the next question, what factors related to location would not affect a project team's priorities? For option number A, there are no banks nearby that provide construction loans. Actually, this option does not have any impact on the project team priorities according to the location of a project. So this option is right. If we see the other options, the area only receives about 12 inches or 30 centimeters of rainfall each year. Actually, this may affect the project team decision. Local zoning requires all buildings to be no more than 4 stories high, so this also will affect the project team decisions. The community emphasizes sports and athletic for all ages. This one type of the human impact of the location, so it will also affect the project team priorities. So the right option is number A. For the next question, which of the following is an acceptable way to encourage building users to choose alternative transportation? Alternative transportation is another word for green vehicles or vehicles that use fuels that are not fossil fuels, like electric cars or other types of green vehicles. For the first option, installing preferred parking. Preferred parking is the parking spots closest to the main entrance of a building. For employee parking, it refers to the spots that are closest to the entrance used by the employees. So, preferred parking is a perk for users that drive alternative transportation or green vehicles. In LEED, to meet the requirements of the green vehicle credit, preferred parking must be provided for these vehicles. So, this option is correct. For option number B, allowing off-street parking. Actually, LEED discourages off-street parking to be used, so this option is wrong. For option number C, sharing parking is a way to offset parking costs between multiple buildings, so using shared parking is not a correct answer. Finally, installing multi-level parking. Actually, multi-level parking or parking garages does not encourage a user to choose a different mode of transportation or using green vehicles, so this answer is wrong. Then the best answer is answer number A. For the next question, what is the impact of creating a dense, compact, mixed-use neighborhood? For option number A, less pavement for roads and less infrastructure for utilities. If the buildings are closer together and hold more occupants, less roads and utility infrastructure is required. So, this saves on materials, which reduces demand for virgin materials and transportation of those materials. So, this option is the correct option. For the rest, they are wrong options, but we will read them to understand why they are wrong. Decreased availability of alternative transportation. Alternative transportation means green vehicles. This does not relate to using compact or mixed-use neighborhood. Increased in flooding from stormwater runoff and the heat island effect. This is also unrelated. Increased in the travel time to work for occupants. Actually, if we use dense, compact, mixed-use neighborhood, the travel time will be reduced. So this option is also wrong. Then the best option is option number A. In which of the following instances would a project team need to use the ITE Transportation Planning Handbook? The first option says that when calculating a project's parking capacity. When reducing parking, project teams will use the ITE Transportation Planning Handbook to determine the recommended parking. So this option is correct, and the rest of the options are wrong. To understand the rest of the options, when determining if a bicycle network is adequate, wrong. When locating existing rights of way, when determining surrounding density, wrong. When reviewing planned future public transportation routes is also wrong. Then the right option is when calculating a project's parking capacity. What encourages the purchase of and use of green vehicles or alternative transportation? Locating a project in a dense neighborhood. Actually, this is not a lead strategy to encourage the purchase and use of the green vehicles, so this option is wrong. Providing preferred parking for those vehicles. Preferred parking for green vehicles promotes their purchase, so preferred parking is a strategy by lead to reduce the automobile use. Preferred parking, we have mentioned before that they are parking spaces that are closest to the main entrance of a project. So this option is correct. For option number C, providing solar carports. This is not a lead strategy to encourage the purchase of use and use of green vehicles, so this option is wrong. And finally, option number D, designing the project to be mixed use. This is not a lead strategy to encourage the purchase and use of green vehicles, so this also is not a correct answer. Then the best answer is answer number B. A project team is reviewing potential sites for a new office building. Which of the following sites would be preferred? For option number A, selecting a site that requires occupants to drive 40 minutes in each way to the building. That is a wrong answer, as traveling for very long time periods is not a suitable option, or encouraging people to drive cars, so this is not environmentally positive. Building on a green field. Greenfield sites are not preferred by LEED, so this is also a wrong option. For option number C, locating the site in area with pedestrian access to only 4 retail shops. Actually, this is good to promote walkability and reduce vehicle distance traveled. But LEED prefers a variety of diverse uses, not just retail shops. So this option is not the best option. Actually, the best option is option number D, because choosing a site in a LEED for neighborhood development location will encourage the project team, and the project team that selects to build in a LEED neighborhood for choosing a site that has connection with the surrounding community and good location and transportation attributes already. Note that for LEED neighborhood development project may include residential uses, non-residential uses, or a mix. So this option is the right option. Which of the following action can a project team take to increase the density of a project building? For option number A, locate the building in a dense neighborhood. This helps with the density credit, but not the density of the building itself. The question does not ask about the surrounding density, that is for a credit. So this option is wrong. For option number B, locate the project near a variety of use types. This would help with credit for diverse uses, but does not help with the credit for increasing the density of the project building, so this option is also wrong. For option number C, select an infill site for the building. This can help with selecting high priority sites, but does not help with increasing the density of the project building. For the last option, create a smaller footprint and maximize the floor area ratio. Density is a measure of the total building floor area or dwelling units on a parcel of land relative to the buildable land of the parcel. So, by using a smaller footprint and maximizing the floor to area ratio, the best option will this will be the best option to increase the density of the project building, and the best option will be option number D. How would a bicycle network would be documented for a project? For option number A, by drawing a straight line radius from the origin and the bicycle segments in the radius. A radius is not how bicycle networks are documented, so this option is wrong. For option number B, by creating a map showing the project and project boundary, stop transit location, and walking routes and distances. This is how access to quality transit is documented, so this is not how we document bicycle network. For option number C, by the use of area plan or map showing the project site and location of existing and planned bicycle networks within a quarter mile of about 400 meters radius of the project site. A radius is not how the bicycle network are documented, so this choice has parts of how density would be calculated, so this option is also wrong. For option number D, by including a vicinity map showing the bicycle network, route and distance along the network to eligible destination. So this is how the credit is documented actually. So this is the best option for this question. For question number 20, a vehicle meeting with which standard would be considered a green vehicle? Green E certified. A Green E is a program established to promote green electricity products and provide consumers with a nationally recognized method to identify those products. So it is not related to green vehicles. It's actually related to green electricity products. For option number B, vehicle a vehicle with a minimum green score of 45 on the ACEEE Annual Vehicle Guide. Vehicles must have green score of 45 or more for the ACEEE Annual Vehicle Rating Guide to qualify for LEED credit. So this option is actually the best option, but let's take a look at the rest of the answers. For option number C, EPA transportation and air quality standard. This is not correct option because it does not relate to using green vehicles. Finally, SCAQMD, air quality standards. It is mainly related to air pollution control agency, so it's not related to green vehicles. Then the best option is option number B. For this question, more than one option can be correct. For question number 21, a project team wants to reuse a building in a historic district for a project. Which of the following credit areas will this aid? First, sensitive land protection. Sensitive lands include prime farmland, floodplains, endangered habitat, and water bodies, as well as wetlands. So they do not include historic district or historic buildings. So this option is wrong. For option number B, building life cycle impact reduction. Actually, building life cycle impact reduction is rewarded in the material credits. So this option is correct and can benefit from this action. For option number C, protecting or restoring habitat. Protecting or restoring habitat is the preservation or restoration of previously developed land. All that is known about the project in this question is that the building will be reused, so this option is not correct. Finally, high priority sites. A historic building is a type of high priority site that LEED rewards projects for choosing. So this option is also correct. Then the best two options are B and D. For question number 22, decreasing the parking footprint of a project can be accomplished by which of the following actions? For option number A, separating employee and visitor parking. This action does not reduce parking, it only rearranges it, so this option is wrong. For option number B, locating projects in high-density mixed-use areas. Actually, high-density mixed-use areas are usually served by public transportation, giving users the opportunity to choose alternative transportation and not to drive, so this option is correct. C, not including the parking area in the LEED project boundary. This would not be accepted by the LEED reviewer as a way to reduce parking, so this option is wrong. For option number D, instituting transportation demand management strategies. Transportation demand strategies are things like providing preferred parking to carpools that can reduce single occupancy vehicle use. Uh, these strategies include telecommunicating, compressed work weeks, shuttle service between the sites and commercial residential centers, as well as subsidize public transportation to users to encourage them to use it. So this option is correct. Finally, building in places well served by transit. Public transportation gives users the opportunity to choose alternative transportation and not to drive, so this option is also correct. Then the best options are option number B, D, and E. For our last question today, a project team developing a library on a greenfield site. So it's a greenfield or a prime farmland decides to reduce the project's parking footprint. Which of the following additional areas of the project could this also aid? For option number A, encouraging walkable design. The size of a parking lot does not equate to increasing walkability, so this option is wrong. For option number B, restoring habitat. This protects habitat but does not restore it, so this option is also wrong. For option number C, increasing the project density. Reducing the parking does not increase the project density, so this option is wrong. Finally, for option number D, protecting sensitive land. One of the synergies with parking reduction is that the land now not being used for parking is being protected from development, reducing the environmental impact from the location of a building on a site. So this option is correct. This will be the last question for this session. Thank you a lot. Inshallah, this will be a complete series discussing um, many MCQ questions about the LEED Green Associate exam preparation, and will be about like more than 10 sessions. Inshallah, about 1 or 2 sessions will be produced each week. So subscribe, like, and wait for the next session. Inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.